The Americas Super Week just ended, and to say it was unpredictable has to be an understatement, as matches all throughout the league did not go as planned for anyone, with the largest upset coming with NRG being unbelievably stomped by Lev in 2 maps to fall down to the bottom of the standings, with Demon1 taking the most heat, with people saying that he's completely washed after winning the World Championship just last year. But he was able to bounce back in a must-win against MIBR. So is Demon1 really washed? And why is his Raze struggling so much with the star-studded NRG team that had such high expectations going into the season? Well, before we dive into Demon1's recent play, can you really make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, as it really helps the channel and keeps you up to date with all things Pro Valorant, all throughout the rest of the season, so you don't want to miss out. Alright, so to get an understanding of what's been going so wrong for Demon1, we need to dive into some of the rifle rounds from their match against Lev, where he went 13 and 30 in 2 maps, with him going 2 and 15 in first kills to deaths, as the primary entry on Raze, which has been the main problem in NRG's comps so far. As on maps that require a Raze, NRG just has been all over the place. And right from the first time NRG had rifles, it was clear how slow they were playing these rounds on Bind, as it was not working against teams like Lev, who could equal their raw aim power, as even when Demon1 pushed all the way up to lamps with the help of the Gecko ult, they are unable to get through the final choke points to secure the site for the plant, as Demon1 isn't able to be explosive in these situations where other races will change up sight lines by satcheling out. He instead tries to swing with the flash, which leads him to being eliminated easily, which ended with them losing even though they had a better buy. These slow pushes continued all throughout their attacking side, but even at times when Demon1 tried to push the tempo like in round 8, the util plays do not line up correctly, as he's always completely stopped before he can really do anything for his team, leading to an 11-1 half, with him going 4 and 12, with half of the rounds seeing him be the first death. And these issues on Raze continued to happen on the defense, as even when they got the pistols, they were unable to put together more than one full buy round win, as in round 17, where after Demon1 sets up in a spot where he's able to rely on his strengths, he decides to give it up to push without any information on their side. Demon1 tries to clear as many angles as possible, but is unable to flick onto King, who eliminates him, which loses all of sight for NRG, as pushing up so far leaves Crashies all alone on site, or is taken out right when Lev decides to execute. A terrible play by Demon1, where there's so little to gain by this push, as this leads to them losing 13-4 on Bind, to lose the match in humiliating fashion to threaten their playoff hopes. So when looking at Demon1's current play on Raze, what has changed from last year with EG to now that isn't allowing him to excel with a more established and experienced team? Well, nothing changed in Demon1's play. He just had to take on the Raze role for NRG, where Jajimo was the Raze when his team needed it, as that was where he excelled, giving Demon1 a perfect entry partner to swap with, where he could pick up the unique pick of Chamber and Bind, where he would fry. And by looking at an old match with EG, we can see where Demon1 actually plays best in. Let's dive into round 8 from the lower bracket finals and champions against Loud on Bind, where even with the lower buy, it shows how great Jajimo is at gaining space for them, allowing Demon1 to focus on finding favorable duels to help his team, as he's able to take a duel early against Tui's to get the opening kill, leaning into what he does best, while Jajimo on Raze is able to put pressure on Loud on the other side of the map. And once they decide to use the TP and hit A, Demon1 is able to be a good lurk and hold the space he already gained, and successfully use himself as bait for Boostio to trade him out to give them the player advantage on site, resulting in a victory for them as Jajimo was able to play pacey with the spike to plan and help Boostio eliminate Aspas, with this quick round showing what made this version of EG and Demon1 so good, as Demon1 is allowed to be more methodical and prod for quick headshots, while Jajimo was the perfect explosive Raze player that can control the chaos and push the tempo to throw off these disciplined teams like Loud and Champions, something Demon1 is unable to do when on the Raze on NRG. But since NRG are a competent team that makes adjustments, they seem to have looked back at what worked best for Demon1 and made some changes before their match against MIBR, where even if they didn't change anything, they might have still won. But this match was the perfect time to practice these role shifts they desperately needed. So on Split, they went with the double duelist comp, with Victor shifting to Raze and Demon1 staying on the aggressive dueling agent in Jet, showing that they want Demon1 in a role where he can mainly focus on hitting headshots. So how did it go? Well, it started off very poorly for Demon1, with him starting off 1 and 7 in the first 8 rounds, but Victor on Raze was able to keep them in the game, as having these two duelists playing on the same side of the map on the attack can be pretty hard to deal with. Let's just look at round 7, where we see it clearly as Demon1 and Victor are able to scale up quickly on a ramp. And while they aren't able to get a kill because of the Viper wall, they still have so much space and control of the tempo with this comp that they can still dive deep into sight with Demon1 dashing in and Victor throwing his nade to cause chaos. While Victor is killed and Demon1 doesn't pick up a frag, all the space they gained allowed the rest of the team to work together and pull the round across in their favor. But as the map went further, Demon1 continued to have some sloppy plays, even when his aim returned, as whenever he tried to push up against MIBR, he was just taken out before he could really do anything. But on the defense, he improved a bit, with him pulling off a pivotal 1v2 clutch in round 18 to help them across the line after a lot of poor team plays all around. So while they were able to win the map, it was clear that against a better team, that would have been a lot different, as having a player like Demon1 in a slump could cause them to miss out on even making playoffs, especially with their team play looking so poor recently. But they were able to keep their hopes alive, winning against MIBR in 2 maps, with Demon1 looking to be on the brink of either returning to his former glory or completely collapsing under the pressure, as he had rounds on Breeze on Jet that looked more comfortable and back to his old self as he started to pick the op up more and more, resulting in them winning big on their defending side with a 9-3 lead, with him being more of a team player as he didn't overly push after struggling recently. But like map 1, the secondary entry player played well in Ethan on Yoru, leading the way as he worked great off of Demon1 to trade and keep the advantage for them all map, resulting in them winning Breeze 13-3 to secure the victory against this Brazilian team. So with NRG now 2-2, with 2 important matches to go before playoffs, how do I think this supposed super team will do in the remainder of Split 1? Both these matches against 100 Thieves and EG could be difficult, as they both have good coaching staffs and solid players, but really I only have 100 Thieves defeating NRG, as EG has shown flashes of being able to take down the best teams, with recently their victory against Sentinels getting them a lot of hype. But overall, they haven't been able to put it together consistently, as they aren't as snappy and clean as other teams, with shots sometimes slipping away from them when they need it the most. So while I have them winning that match, 100 Thieves has all the possibility to take them down and put them in jeopardy of failing to make America's playoffs. A huge humiliation for a team that was supposed to be fighting for a Masters trophy already. And after how convincingly 100 Thieves has taken down their last 2 opponents in Cloud9 and G2, I believe that 100 Thieves will continue to get better and better as they grow more comfortable under their IGL, Boostio, to take down Demon1 and NRG to force them into a statistical tiebreaker with the final team in their group, decide who makes playoffs. Much different than what most people thought before the start of the season. So if you like this video, make sure you're subscribed, as it really helps out the channel and keeps you up to date on all the different types of Valorant videos I'll be posting all throughout this Valorant season. So make sure you don't miss out by clicking that bell for notifications. Also, you should watch my recent video all about how good or bad Prime Ye was during his time with Envy and Optic. It's a very interesting watch and I worked really hard on it, so please check it out.